Hello Rebel Pals, my special VPs. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, my name is Dr. Emasi. I post videos on the art of verbal interaction with difficult people, how to show zero emotional reaction, and how to be cool, calm, and calculated in your verbal communication with them. This channel will teach you how to be mentally strong and quick on your feet. Hello, thank you for joining today. Today's topic is how to truly forgive. I want to start by saying this. Most resources will tell you things to do, but they will not tell you how to do those things. So, which is why I'm doing this video today. Example could be someone will tell you just forgive, but they will not give you instruction on how to forgive or the effective tip that will work in actually getting to a place of forgiveness. So, today, I'm going to share with you some of the things that I believe can help. Forgiveness, let's start with that. What is the meaning of forgiveness? Forgiveness is not by saying, I forgive. So how do you forgive? Some people think that once they say, I forgive, that means they have forgiven. But that's not true. If you say, I have forgiven, but your heart is still filled with bitterness, you have not forgiven. Now, people might say, yes, I have forgiven and my heart is not filled with bitterness. The only person that truly knows is that person. So we can't really say they haven't forgiven, but within that person's heart, they know for sure what is going on. So let's address these issues. First and foremost, what I recommend about forgiveness and how to forgive is to write an apology letter to yourself and promise yourself that you will not do those things that led to this offenses or hurt or betrayal that you feel. You will not accept the things that you have accepted. So just write a letter to yourself and promise that you will forgive yourself. Write it as if you have already forgiven yourself. So you can say something like, I forgive you for ABC. I forgive you for not protecting you from the offender, and I truly have forgiven you. The thing about this is that when you repeat things like this over and over, after a period of time, your mind will register it and you will believe it. And when you believe it, you're going to act accordingly. So it's almost like tricking the brain. Like you want to tell yourself that you're forgiven. That way you can forgive the person that offended you. If you don't forgive yourself, you can't forgive that person. And so this is the same concept with if you don't love yourself, how can you love someone else? Does that make sense? So forgiveness, from my perspective, forgiveness begins with forgiving yourself. Secondly, forgiveness needs time and closure. You cannot snap your finger and forgive, right? Forgiveness is like a wound that needs time to heal. Here is where everybody's different, by the way, because we all heal differently. So when it comes to forgiveness, the timeline for forgiving is different for everybody. The time it takes for person A to forgive might be longer or shorter than the time it takes person B to forgive. The more you think about the offender, the offense, or the issue, the longer it will take you to forgive. So I recommend please do not ruminate on the issue. Do not ruminate on what caused this pain or hurt or what puts you in this place where you need to forgive. Don't think about it, don't overanalyze it, because it will be like refreshing the wound all over again. Stop yourself whenever your mind wants to ruminate on this issue. When it comes to thinking about the offense or the pain, sometimes it's really hard for you to not think about it, for you to just say, okay, I'm done, I'm not going to think about it. But what I would suggest is something that can help is distractions, disruptions. So if you catch yourself thinking about this issue, all this pain, all this person that hurt you, rather than staying in that place and be thinking about it, take yourself from that state, disrupt the situation or the state that you are in. If you were watching TV and this thought came in, maybe you need to get up from in front of the TV and go take a walk, or go to the kitchen and go cook something, or call somebody. You have to do something to just disrupt that thought process. So that's what I would say about trying to overcome thinking about this. Because if you continue to think about it, like I said, that will be refreshing the issue. Now, you need to remember that some of our thoughts, they're actually useless. it's not everything that we think about that's useful and valuable for our health or for our life. So once you catch yourself thinking about something like something that caused you pain, the likelihood of that thought causing you pain is high because you triggered that emotion, the initial emotion you had. So what you do is that don't think about things like that, because what is that going to do for you anyway? It's useless. So catch yourself, be very mindful about your thoughts, and just discard useless thoughts and things that will not add value to your life. Trash them and keep on moving. With time, you will get used to rightly dividing your thoughts and keeping only the useful ones. Now, forgiveness is not by acting. That's another thing you have to remember. I just said forgiveness is not by saying, I forgive you. Another thing is forgiveness is not by acting, and it's not by playing tricks on your brain. However, you have to know that you are different from someone else. So if someone is trying to make you feel guilty about not forgiving, don't listen to it and don't let it bother you. However long it takes you to forgive, that is your time and your process. Your time is your time. Don't feel guilty about it. Getting closure is the difficult part, because you have to seek out things and try different things to get you to that place of closure. Once you get to forgiveness, you will know. And here's how to assess it. Once you get to that place where if something good happens to the offender, you will truly feel happy for them. You are not indifferent. There is no eye rolling or huffing and puffing. You may have arrived at forgiveness, but if you don't care whether they get run over by a bus or wins the $1 million lottery, you are still in unforgiveness. However, don't beat yourself down, because forgiveness is a process that takes time. Maybe at the beginning, when the offense was fresh, you wish they get run over by a bus, but now you don't care whether they get run over by a bus or whether they win a lottery. That's progress, right? So don't diminish your progress. Give yourself a pat on the back. With time, you will get to where you feel bad for them if something bad happens, or you feel actually excited for them if something good happens to them. Well, that is if you're not a narcissist, because narcissists lack the ability to empathize. So I'm talking about people who can put themselves in other people's shoes. The bottom line is embrace the process, and with time, you will get to that place of true forgiveness. Don't allow anyone to make you feel guilty about your journey to forgiveness, because we all have a different timeline and we all heal differently. To bury the issue or push it aside, not a good idea. When you sweep things under the rug, those things are still there. The issue is still there, and eventually it will come around and bite you in the butt. So the best thing to do is to work on forgiveness, which is a process and it takes time. So you just have to give yourself a break. Don't feel so guilty. Don't beat yourself down. But it is very healthy for you to get to this place of true forgiveness. I'm not talking about shallow forgiveness or superficial forgiveness, or forgiveness where you just say it with your mouth, but deep down in your heart, you haven't. I'm talking about true forgiveness where nothing bothers you about this offense and nothing bothers you about the person and yourself, because you have a role to play in the whatever it is that happened. Your role could be that you accepted it. Your role could be that you tolerated it. So when you get to a place where you're not beating yourself down for this thing that happened, and you're not angry at the other person, and you're not thinking about the issue, you have gotten to a place where you have truly forgiven. In order not to push things under the rug, you have to get them out somehow. And how do you do that? You can talk to someone you trust. You can talk to the offender if that will help. But a lot of times, if the person that offended you does not feel like they offended you, and you talk to them, it might just get things worse. So the best thing is talk to someone you trust. Someone you think can hear you out and actually give you a constructive criticism and tell you where you're at fault or what you can do to prevent something like this from happening again. Now, that's a way of getting things out. The thing is, do not overdo it. Because if you overdo it, if you talk to this person and you go talk to someone else, or you keep repeating to one particular person, it will just be refreshing the wound all over. So you don't want to do it. You want that wound to heal. This forgiveness issue, this pain or hurt or whatever it is, you want it to heal. So you don't refresh it, you don't dig in it, you don't try to aggravate the pain. You don't take yourself back to that pain. So what you do is, what I recommend is don't talk to more than 2 people about it. Don't narrate this thing more than twice, so that way you're not taking yourself back to that place again. Another is therapy, if that's the route you want to take, if you don't have a loved one or a trustworthy person to talk to get these things out of your mind. Or another very good option will be talk to yourself in the mirror. Now you've written this forgiveness letter to yourself, talk to yourself in the mirror and forgive yourself. Get out the pain, say the issue and say what you should have done, so that next time you know exactly what to do. That's all I have for you today. Thank you for joining me today. Please leave a comment below and don't forget to like this video. If you have not subscribed, click the red subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up, because that is how YouTube knows that my videos are worth recommending to others. Thank you once again for joining. See you next time. Bye-bye.